You know that feeling when you enter a new space and something inside you shifts almost immediately? You haven't said anything yet, you haven't done anything, but inside something has already started adjusting. How you should behave here. Speak now or wait. Look people in the eye or observe first. Get closer or keep a distance. And the strange part is, it doesn't feel like a decision. It happens automatically, quietly, almost invisibly, as if there's a part of you that reads everything faster than you can consciously process it. At first, it just feels like awareness or social intuition, but if you look closer, it feels more like a tuning mode. You don't enter spaces immediately. You first check them.
Level 2. And from the outside, this often looks simpler than it really is. Someone might call you reserved. Someone else might call you cautious. Some might think you just struggle with people. But none of these explanations fully reach what's actually happening inside. Because it's not about a lack of confidence, and it's not a social flaw. It's a safety strategy. You tend to understand the environment first, and only then allow yourself to fully exist in it. And because of that, a gap appears. People only see your behavior in the moment, not the internal process that happens before it. So part of you remains invisible to others, not because you are hiding, but because this process happens too fast and too internally to be noticed.
Level 3. If you look deeper, something becomes clear. You don't exist in a single constant state. There are different modes within you. In one, you observe. You collect information. You minimize action to understand the environment better. In another, you act. You engage. You take tasks, interact, and move things forward. And there is another layer, more controlled, more structured. In that state, there is less spontaneity, more control, more internal pressure holding everything together. And the important thing is, these are not different versions of you. It's the same you, operating under different levels of demand and responsibility.
Level 4. From a neuropsychological perspective, this is quite logical. The brain is constantly evaluating the environment, not in words, but in feeling. Safe or unsafe, predictable or unpredictable, controllable or not. When a situation is new or uncertain, the system automatically increases observation. Attention becomes sharper, action slows down. This is not indecision. It is safety being prioritized over action. When stability increases, the active mode turns on. You start acting, engaging, influencing. And under pressure or high responsibility, a control mode can activate, where emotions become quieter and decisions become faster and more rigid. These are not different personalities. They are one system adapting to different levels of load. Level 5. And most of the time, these modes don't start in the present. They are formed gradually, from situations where you had to quickly read people, from moments where mistakes had consequences, from environments where understanding had to come before action. The nervous system does not store events as stories. It stores repeated responses, and then reuses them automatically, even when the context has already changed. That's why sometimes you become overly cautious in a safe situation, or take too much responsibility when things could be easier. This is not a malfunction. It is an old adaptation continuing in a new environment.
Level 6. And here is what matters most. None of these modes is wrong. There is no version of you that needs to be fixed or replaced. These are all forms of adaptation that once made sense and helped you navigate life. And even now, they still serve a function. The paradox is that the strength of this system lies in its flexibility, but its cost is constant switching. Sometimes you don't even notice when you move from one state into another. You just feel the shift inside. And maybe the first step is not control, but recognition. Noticing, what state am I in right now? Not to change it, but to understand it a little more clearly as it happens. Because between these states, there are short gaps, very quiet, almost invisible. And it is there that something new begins to appear. Not automatic, not conditioned, but slightly chosen.